is up, everybody? Hey!
How y'all doing?
Another episode of the Paranormal Jackass. I am your host, with the least, not the most, the Paranormal Jackass himself, and I'm always thrilled and excited to have my two brothers with me, the Paranormal Penis and the rare ball-headed Sasquatch. What is up, my brothers?
What's
How you
up?
doing?
How was your week? Or should I ask? Tim, how's your tooth?
If you're involved.
My whole mouth hurts, but I'm good.
Poor guy. I feel so bad for you.
Shit happens.
When I tell you about that stuff, man, don't put it in your mouth.
Chris was gonna tell you from now on, if you go to work, you gotta have a mouthpiece and a football helmet on.
Hey, there's some dangerous stuff.
Dude,
I had 20,000 pounds free suspended above my head today.
And I bet you they didn't even wrap you in bubble wrap. No protection. Nobody on.
Been down to walk underneath the damn thing too.
Hey, if it makes you guys feel any better, I was about, well, that's more weight than what I would do, but I was suspended in the air about 55, 56 feet, cutting a tree.
Yeah.
All I did today was go lay floors and land some wooden floors.
Did you?
There you go.
Man, that's not. You laid some wooden floors, huh? Hey, you're laying wood somehow.
I don't think I really got that problem.
Shut up! I hear you back there. Shut up!
We hear you, Chrissy.
He has no problem in that area.
Hey, listen.
You listen.
Jesus take the wheel, huh?
Jesus, take the wheel. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, I've had a good week. Other than having a bunch of knee issues last Sunday and Monday, and then I went to the doctor and got put on a magical little steroid, and now my knee feels better.
Like, no, they're talking about vampires, so, like, that's so ironic that he.
We don't care, Adrian. We don't care.
I was like, there was an unseen. I don't know which one of you guys have ventriloquist, but that was amazing.
That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good.
You shouting it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what we talk about this week, Scotty?
Man, we are talking about serial killers. I know this is one of our favorite episodes, man. And we love it, man.
All right, so,
Well, I gotta say, number one on the list is probably Jason Voorhees and then Michael Myers.
Yo, you can't do that. You can't do that. No, man, it's the other way around. Be Michael Myers, then Jason Voorhees.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
mean-
maybe Jason has a higher body count.
Yeah, Mike spent a lot of time chasing that girl. Jason was wiping out entire camps.
Hey, when you love her, chase her, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like,
Don't
Come
give a
on,
fuck
man.
about that stalking charge. Just chase her.
I don't think nobody got a bigger body count than Hellraiser.
I was gonna say,
Pinhead.
hey, you guys forgot about Pinhead, dude. You know,
He been doing that for hundreds of years.
that's what I'm saying. I'm one of the lucky people, man. I got 3 of those boxes. What's up, Mr. Jeremy York?
What's up, Jeremy? Howdy ho.
Hello. It's Mr. Hanky.
That's right.
Yeah, guys, talking about serial killers, man, you always talk about like the gruesome and how deaths were and all that, but there's a lot more to it than just that, man.
and then
Yes, I got it. I just have been like a chicken with my head cut off this week, so I will get back with you about that. And I'll let these guys know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure something out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You
I'm
better.
responding to Jeremy.
Right. No, I got the same message. So let me
Yeah,
know
I
what time.
can't see none of the I can't see none of the typing.
You see that?
Yeah, I
Get you
see
some
that.
glasses. Get some glasses. Um,
Oh, there.
but and I don't know about the first guy we'll want to talk about, but their IQs. Some of them have extremely high IQs. I mean, we're not. I think the average person, Tim. What do they say? Around 100.
The average serial killer is like the
Yeah.
110 to 115 range.
As far as normal people.
And you're at
Around
that
100.
level then up as well.
So some of these guys just have really high IQs. The first guy I don't think did, which if you guys don't mind, I would like to start with. Well. Look what the cat dragged in. Hey,
What's
Knock,
up,
how you
Bennett?
doing, brother?
So, man.
Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. I want to talk about this dude for a minute. Because this is a guy who terrorized California. And he had no mercy. Old, young, he killed them. I think his youngest victim was an 8-year-old girl. I think some of his oldest were in their 70s. And this guy got away with it so easily.
Well, he just disappeared.
He would disappear. And
I
hi,
don't know
Joanne.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Who?
Must be those two guys. I look homeless right now.
Look at Jason. He looks like one of them old Star Wars dudes, man. Like he's waiting to become a Jedi. But
This
I'm
this
already a
weekend,
Jedi.
trim, gotta get a trim this weekend and get this all
I already
straightened
did,
out.
bro. Look at
This
that.
is getting out of control.
Looking fresh, looking good. But anyways, so with Ramirez, like he was an addict, and that's why he loved killing, right? But I think there was a lot of clout with him that went along with everything, because during his trial, he had the 666 Hell Satan and all this.
He was a known Satanist.
Right.
When he was very young and impressionable, he witnessed his cousin murder his wife. His cousin murdered his wife.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in, brother. And that was one of the biggest things, is watching his cousin shoot his wife in the face. And I think that's what set it off. And then it wasn't just that. It was the pictures that his cousin was showing him, because his cousin was in Vietnam, and he took a lot of pictures and everything.
And bragged about his war crimes
and how much he loved it. And I think that those two things really set Ramirez off on his street.
Well, that and all the cocaine he was doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Hi, Cheyenne.
Let me ask you this.
Hey, sis.
We usually categorize the serial killer by the people that go to prison for it, right?
Right.
Well, what about some of these famous hitman for the mafia?
Like the
Were they
Iceman?
were they not serial killers?
You know what? And I would definitely rank them up there.
And
I mean, these guys had graveyards under their belts. They had killed 50, 60 people in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I even watched a documentary that talked about the Old West and people like Billy the Kid.
Yep.
And technically, they could be classified as serial killers.
Serial killers. I mean, they lived in a different era, but still, I mean, there was still law that it was still moral right and wrong. You liked killing people, otherwise you wouldn't have kept doing it.
It's been against the Bible to kill anybody since around what, 4,000 BC.
Mm-hmm.
And you're absolutely right. But I do believe the term serial killer actually did not come into the 70s.
And that's why it's not really. That's like when they take the mob guys down. Usually they don't get them for murder. They get them for like racketeering, the RICO Act. They get them for shit like that, tax
Right.
evasion. They
Yep.
don't, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really like, but like Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull, yeah, dude. I just watched a documentary on
Yeah,
him.
he
78
ratted on
guy.
him, but bro, he killed so many people for the mob. It was ridiculous. They said that dude had so many, he confessed to so many murders that he was ordered to take hits on people.
Which he flipped for state evidence, right?
Yeah, he did.
Did I freeze up?
Yeah, your face. Oh yeah, you look like you had Down syndrome just now. You,
I don't freeze. That was weird.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, man. Because we were talking. All of a sudden, you're like,
man, you had a face. It looked like you had a face spasm.
but you did too. But I was like, oh, Jason froze up. And I was getting ready to say something to Tim, and Tim's got it sideways, and he's stuck.
Was it my good side or my bad side?
It was definitely your good side.
Okay.
Like you
We're all
were in
good then.
carbonite, like Darth Vader put you in carbonite, and you just froze.
This side's the moneymaker. I'm just
Is
saying.
that what it is?
This side's the
Okay,
moneymaker.
then you're screwed. You're screwed. So, no, but you're right. Like Sammy the Bull and all them. It's weird how they're not classified as a serial killer. You know.
It's all because they haven't been convicted of that, even though because a lot of times the ones that we really knew about was because the certain mob members or dudes that was affiliated with them would get caught up and then they would tell. And that's how we figured.
Didn't they say like there's something like 30 some active serial killers in the United States at all fucking times?
Yeah, and they say that you pass at least the possibility of one serial killer every day on the street.
Imagine this with the border open. Everybody holler about the Mexicans, but bro, we got people from all over the world piling in through the border. You got countries that literally emptied their prisons of all their violent offenders and sent them over here. We got all the worst people. Like there's probably 150
And
serial killers right now in the country at a time.
Dude, it's and the hardest thing is even now, like I think one of the biggest difference between back then and now is the development of DNA. Now, I'm not saying they still can't get away with murder and serial killers, but to me nowadays, and this is just my thinking, it would be a little harder because more states communicate, also have DNA. Back then,
I'm gonna tell you,
did not cooperate, no DNA.
I'm gonna tell you what makes it, what I think is the biggest catch to now, what we didn't have back then, because we had DNA in the '90s and we still couldn't get ahead. But technology, there are cameras everywhere. If it's somebody's doorbell cam, if it's a business camera from way across the way. Yeah, phones. People with their phones, when they hear shooting, they instantly recording. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get away with a murder like you did back in the day.
Absolutely not.
Because if I take a revolver with me that doesn't eject shells, I wear gloves, I cover my face. Facial recognition in court, you have to be able to see 75% of a person's face to use 100% positive face recognition.
Right.
If you cover from the nose down, somebody can say whatever they want that it looks like you, but they can't say it is you, and it won't be admissible in court. Right? So the thing is, you say you commit a shooting on my street, right? They're gonna look at the time of death from the body.
Yep.
And then they're gonna go down and they're gonna find every neighbor with a door ring bell, and they're gonna say, "Man, can we watch the footage in between this time?"
Yeah.
And they're gonna try to see what car was leaving. Can they get the license plate? Is there a face shot of the driver? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not getting away with shit like that no more.
I think the way people do still get away with it from time to time is picking on derelict,
right.
Making their victims homeless or streetwalkers, you know, things of that nature. And then the other way people get away with it is meticulous planning. And you got to be smart to do that stuff.
And some of them really are.
Which gets
You
back
gotta
to
have, you gotta almost have an OCD.
with these dudes.
So let's talk about one of your guys, man. Tim?
Me?
Yeah. Bring that dude on.
Mr. Alcala.
The dating
Rodney
game
Alcala.
killer.
The dating game killer. Oh boy, was so slick. First off, he was only convicted of 5 murders. They found 3 more and tied them to him after his original conviction. So they know he confirmed 8 murders.
Right.
They believe his number to be over 130. He was active for 11 years without getting caught. That's exactly right, Chrissy. And his reported IQ was over 170.
And that's crazy. But the dude was smart enough because he would literally lure his victims by telling them that he was a model photographer and he'd take them to these locations and he would actually take photos of them and then he would pounce on them. You know.
And to have that many murders under your belt and still be slick enough to go on not only go on the dating game, not only get accepted to be on the show, but win.
To win the damn game, like, come on, like, this dude won. And it's funny because I don't know I can't remember if it was her friend or the producer, but the lady that chose him, as soon as the show was over, it was like, this is something about this guy I don't like. So
he was acting real possessive and real clingy toward her. And it was just like, no, she was just creeped out by him, and she never went on the date with him.
Never went on the date, which more than likely saved her life, man.
Yeah.
But once again, you're talking a guy with 170 IQ. That is extremely genius. I think that's almost as high, if not higher, than Albert Einstein.
It's higher than Einstein. Einstein didn't have that high of an IQ.
That's what I was going to say.
He was actually autistic. He couldn't even sign his own name, but he could do math and write numbers like it was incredible.
Absolutely. Yep. No. And that's, yeah. And, and there was other guys that were in the serial killer field that had just as high as IQ, and I'm telling you all, not everybody's Ed Gein who had an IQ of 89. I'm just saying, some of these guys are very methodical. They put a lot of thought and detail on how they do things.
Hey, if you're going to do it right.
I'm gonna throw a twist into the serial killers, right? Because I'm about to name somebody that if you're not from down south Louisiana, you'll never hear this name. But we had 2 guys, Meatball and Scully. And when I was growing up, in the 90s, these dudes had graveyards under their belts in New Orleans. They murdered so many people. Meatball was known for dressing up like a woman. Full wig, high heels, everything, with a baby stroller. And would walk down on you in the middle of the mall in a crowd of people and murder you right there and run off. When they would give description, they'd be like, it was a woman.
Dang. That's the one.
One died, one went to prison for the rest of his life. But I mean, I know for a fact, like when I was growing up, somebody would die in the neighborhood and the word would always be, my Meatball, somebody had put money on their head. And Meatball and Scully go collect.
Dude, I mean, dressing up as a woman, going to commit murder, and going back to normal. And see, that's what's scary, especially these days, because things like that, You know, and I think one of the huge big difference back then than it is now too is hitchhikers. Like people
I'd say-
hitchhiked back in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? 70s.
You don't do it no more. You better not.
You know,
I just had a crazy idea too. How much do you guys think that the emergence of mental health awareness and the emergence of all the medications around mental health have lessened the amount of serial killers we actually hear about these days?
I don't think, because listen, somebody that is a serial killer, they have a mental problem that can't be fixed with pills. Their brain is not functioning the same way ours is. They lack emotion. They lack the ability to feel other people's pain. It's why they so heartless. They like the thrill and taking somebody's life. It's why they take momentums.
You're a
yeah, they
psychopath.
don't.
They psychopaths.
For everything.
You can't fix them. The only place they need to be is in prison or asylums. They need to bring back asylums.
But what I'm saying more along the lines, though, is that why we don't hear about it as much nowadays?
Hi, Kimmy.
I mean, you want my honest opinion? We don't hear about it because the news is liberal, and they're not gonna point a picture out making it look like when they have a, I'm not trying to be pushed towards, but they're not gonna let while a Democratic president is in office make it look like he has a problem in the country. You never hear about that. And right now we have so many other major issues on the table that's not high on the priority list.
Right. You know, and the weird thing was 70s and 80s, they would, you could tell they would report on it, you know, whether it be the Zodiac Killer, Ramirez, whoever.
Bundy had a highly publicized trial.
And there's another guy. Bundy was not a dumb guy. He had a 139 IQ. I mean, smart enough to be a lawyer.
Look at David Koresh with the Waco incident. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude was stupid brilliant. He was smart enough that he fucked the IRS the way he basically said under the constitutional right. Told me a law that says I got to pay you taxes for land that I hold the title to.
Right.
I own my own land. I'm not paying you taxes. And that's what caused the IRS to came in and they got pissed and the feds came in.
ATF, yep.
ATF, and then, it was crazy.
It was, dude. But, you know, with Bundy, they said he was a good-looking dude. I didn't think I don't think he was a good-looking guy. No, the dude had a unibrow, man. Like, come on, man. Like, that's sexy. That unibrow is sexy, whatever.
Yeah, maybe you Andy Davis.
Sideburns that came down to here. I mean, you know.
But the women liked him, and he played it off really well. He would have fake. He had a broken arm, and he would get these ladies to help him get his books into his Beetle, which only had one C, and he made it to where they could not open the door from the inside. It's like being had childproof lock now. So boom, he hit him with the cast, throw him in, and he got away with it, man. And it was scary, crazy scary. That's the word I was looking for. Because you got a guy who's smart enough to be a lawyer, literally to be a lawyer. Kind of not so smart to represent yourself and think you're just better than what you think you are. No,
He ended up confessing to 30.
narcissistic. He did. But it was funny, though, because of all the things to blame the crap on him killing, he blamed it on porn.
In his last interview with Dr. James Dobson.
Blamed it on porn. Porn made me, what? And I understand that these guys growing up, they don't have, some of these people did just not have the best life. They really didn't.
Man, look at Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber. Bro, he was military trained. He was a sniper and explosives expert in the military. He came home to the government basically. So they used to have free grazing in Oklahoma, which meant his family had raised cattle forever. And that meant that they pushed their cattle over land, even if it was somebody else's land. Well, the government came in and said, nah, everybody's putting up fences now. If your cattle, so the amount of land they own wasn't big enough to sustain their herd. But they live in year to year, cattle to cattle. So if they have to reduce their herd, they're gonna lose land. They're gonna lose, they're gonna lose out a lot of money.
What's up,
Well,
brother?
it caused them to go bankrupt, and because they was going bankrupt, they people was taking their house and they land and everything. His dad and his brother went out there and chained themselves to a bulldozer in the middle of the road, and they wound up taking him to jail for it. So Timothy McVeigh was like, man, I done fought for the country. Y'all ain't trying. Y'all really screwing us. Like,
like 2 hours away from here.
man, he something
So-
snapped in him.
He
Something
died
snapped in him.
Oh,
I don't think he was like a psychopath serial killer. He just had enough. He snapped.
Yeah.
He
was
made up his
more,
mind.
he was labeled as a mass murderer. Because mass
Terrorist,
murderers
mass
murder
murderer.
many people all at once, where a serial killer kills
Yeah, he had killed like
over time.
200, almost 300 people in that building. He
But
dropped
the thing
the feather.
about that, the day he did it, I believe it was also the same day Waco happened.
Well,
Listen, he's the fastest execution in U.S. history, in modern day history. When he went to court and he got found guilty, and they asked him if he wanted to make a last statement, he said, I apologize for the kids that was in the building because there was a nursery in there.
Yep.
He was like, I apologize for that. He said, but I'll be honest with you. If you let me go today, tomorrow, I'll blow up another FBI building. He said, y'all took my whole life. You took my family's whole way of living. He was like, I have no regret about this. I've made my peace with God. I'm not going to appeal the death penalty. Let's go. And he did.
Amanda, I have seen that, and it's supposed to be told from the perspective of his girlfriend, but it's definitely a weird, different angle to it. But yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. It was definitely different. So, and to see Zac Efron play Ted Bundy was just a little off the wall. I mean,
Was Bundy the one that ate people's brains?
no. So the only cannibal I know was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, Dahmer. That's what I'm thinking of.
And that dude, he also had a high IQ of like, 149, 145, I think.
Yeah.
Same as Edmund Kemper, who was also the co-ed killer.
Dahmer got killed in prison.
Yeah.
He did.
He got stabbed to death.
Alcala was executed in 2021, and Bundy was executed in '89. Richard Ramirez is still alive. No,
He is.
he died of cancer. Kemper is still alive.
Edmund Kemper is still alive.
Hey, who the Menendez brothers? They going back to court right now trying to fight to get out. I seen that on the news.
And there's a lot of evidence that says they will.
That's big.
they weren't serial killers.
No, they weren't.
They killed their parents.
Yeah, them two killed their parents.
Yep. But
To be a serial killer, you got to kill 3 people separately.
what'd you say, Mrs. Producer?
To be deemed a serial killer, you have to kill at least 3 people on separate occasions.
Well, held in a quarter of Louisiana as serial killers.
Huh.
New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Mamou, Morgan City. I can go through. It's like, yeah, it's disgusting.
That was something I did not know. So 3 people
On 3 separate occasions.
on 3
Or
separate
more.
occasions. Or more.
That's the classification that the FBI uses to classify you as a serial killer.
That is interesting.
So in other words, Scott, make sure to take your 25 milligrams. Don't stab a hoe each day.
Listen, I don't know if I can promise you I won't or not, but who we should really focus on is Corey Schnitz, because that dude's been having some pretty bad days at work. I'm just saying. Yeah,
We have to lend him your prescription of 25 milligrams of don't stab.
Talking about Corey.
Green check.
That's another, like I said, that's a crazy thing. When you look at somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer has over 140 IQ. Okay. Served in the military, got kicked out because he loved drinking, which is odd because most guys in the military like to drink anyways. I mean, he just couldn't make it to formation and everything else. And he was smart enough to lure gay men back to his. Excuse me, I just belched. I'm still belching. I shouldn't do that like that because that's bad for me.
Better out than in.
But he would lure these guys, and the one guy that he lured back, he actually escaped from his apartment. They called the police. The police showed up, and Dahmer was smart and slick enough to convince these police officers that this was his lover. The kid was a minor also. Keep that in mind. Was a minor, but said he had been drinking, and he don't know what he's doing. And they allowed Dahmer to take this kid back up to his apartment because this kid escaped, and he was still able to kill him. Got the police to believe all that so he could take this kid back up and unalive him. That is absolutely crazy.
Master manipulators.
Master manipulators.
Either
I know
either
somebody like that.
or he was dealing with a real stupid police.
No, not you. Yeah, that might be it too. But I know this girl, man, she can be mean. You know, I think she needs Jesus in her life every now and again.
Sometimes Jesus needs to take the wheel.
Jesus needs to take the wheel on her because she's a manipulator. And she scared everybody.
I don't know who the hell you talking about.
Wait, what? Oh, I forgot you were listening. Yes.
Yes. She about to come across the county and whoop your ass, man.
I guess. Yes, Amanda. Absolutely.
That's right. Don't test me.
Hey, what you doing? You getting on? You gonna talk to me?
You could be my number one.
I am your number one. That's right, and I forgot about that. The kid's brother had been assaulted by Dahmer before him. That is right. But the weird thing is, and I'm not still understanding, is his consumption of body parts. I think they said it was because he wanted them to be a part of him.
A lot of these guys, the biggest driving factor in their entire makeup is control. They have to be in control of their victims. They want that control. That's why they return to body sites and further humiliate the people, is because they have to have. Kemper kept his mother's head in the fridge and would still argue with it and perform sexual acts with it.
Dude, and once again, Edmund Kemper has 147 IQ. This guy, he's not stupid. He was extremely smart. He's a
humongous guy. He was like what, 6'9" and 300?
He's like 6'9", yeah, dude. That's a big dude. And they say he's one of the most politest people. Even the cops said he's the most politest person they ever.
You think I'm wrong? You think I'm wrong for feeling like a serial rapist is worse than a serial killer?
Normally the two go hand in hand.
I was gonna say normally they both go hand in hand.
I'm just saying, like, I would have more sympathy for the serial killer than the serial rapist. Because, I mean, listen, the killer, I'm not saying either of them are right, and the killer's taking your life, but the rapist is fucking that person's life for the rest of their life. Like, you doing something to that person that's gonna mess them up internally. Like, they gonna have a messed up life. Like, that's a hard thing to overcome. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you more of a scumbag in my eyes, because you might be a killer. You might have mental problems that really make you fucked up, and that's why you killing people. Like, you might really be one of them psycho people. And that's not your fault. That's just how you're hardwired. You're not making a choice to do that. That's you. But
Right.
the serial rapist, I just can't, like, I got sisters, I got mamas, I got a wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm no, like,
Yeah, but most of them suffer from mental illness as well.
I don't care what they got, man. You better keep your little wee wee in your pants. Word.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what a box cutter's for.
Yeah, you gonna run into something you don't like.
Going
Yeah.
Lorraine and Bob at your ass. You
We ain't
gonna
calling 911. We're gonna call 811. Figure out where to bury that hole at. Dig that hole at.
We ain't got. We ain't got to figure
Yes,
it
sir.
out. We know where to put it. But that, we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
We don't tell them our secrets.
Cheyenne Tag said again. Was he ever a known cannibal?
Just put it in my
I don't know if he was a known cannibal. I do know.
I
I think
remember.
there
I can't
was.
see the right.
I think there was something about him did eating, because believe it or not, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based off Ed Gein.
Yeah, I knew that.
So I think.
And I know he made stuff out of bones and body parts and
Dude, like, he made a lampshade or something.
Ask
Like
him who
that.
he's talking about.
bowls out of human skulls.
That is crazy.
Like my ceiling fan back here has some little things that hang down and you pull. The pull cord on his, the piece you pulled on was a human nipple.
I hope it wasn't mine. Hey, Adrian.
Hi, Adrian. Yeah, he was pretty screwed up.
What are you doing?
But in my research of a lot of these guys, were bullied, pushed around as kids, or they had a very, very domineering father or mother figure, like Kemper and Ramirez. Ramirez was beat constantly by his father.
Right.
Kemper's mother was extremely abusive and very mentally abusive to him.
Yeah. And
So-
I know, yeah.
I think a lot of it drives from the power and control of being in control of somebody and getting over that whole from that abusive situation when you felt powerless.
Right.
Now you have the power. It's kind of I got power now. You know what I mean?
I was like, where'd he go? No, and that was one of the things with Edmund Kemper, was the disdain that he'd gotten so much from his mom. He loved again. He started to take it out on women. And I think that happens a lot. Like you said, a lot of these guys growing up, they come from such a dysfunctional family that, are you doing magic here, bro?
Man, I'm trying to see the chat, and I can't do that and be on this at the same time. So
He's a magic man. Now you see me. Now you don't.
Oh, you think you're John Cena, huh?
listen, I'm already
You can't see me
illiterate. I'm technology illiterate. So this phone, I push something and poop, and something else happens, and it's like Harry Potter. It's magic.
Don't get Tim on Harry Potter, man. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that.
Hey, leave my Harry Potter stuff alone.
But Kemper's mom, I believe, worked at. Did she work at college? I think she worked out of college.
Yeah, she was a college professor. She was a professor.
Or a librarian or something. but he had to pass, and that's how he would go, because all these girls would hitchhike. But he had this pass so he could get on to college, and it was crazy. And,
Didn't he pretend to be like campus security sometimes too?
Well, he was a volunteer deputy at one time, I do believe.
Yeah.
So, and it's weird because after he killed his mom and whatnot, and he actually left state, he called the cops and said he did it. And the cops thought at first that he was lying, and he's like, no. And he went through and gave him all the details, and he told him, he goes, yeah, he was like 15 years old when he killed because his grandmother was just like this. Yeah, his grandmother was just like his mom, and he couldn't handle it no more. And his grandfather bought him a gun for Christmas, and he'd go out and shoot it. And one day, and he loved, by the way, he loved his grandfather. He loved his grandfather.
The funny thing was, the court deemed that the crime was too heinous for a 15-year-old to commit. He got away with that. He was never convicted of it.
No, he went to till he was 18. Maybe not the prison, but he went to an asylum.
That may be.
He went to an asylum, okay?
But the court
But he
ruled,
shot his grandmother. His grandfather come home with groceries, and he said initially he didn't plan on killing his grandfather, but he knew it would kill him, knowing that he had killed his grandmother, so he shot his grandfather. But yes, he went to an asylum, and he studied everything there so well that he made them believe that he had been come on, Tim, what's
Abused,
what I'm looking for?
molested.
Huh?
Was he abused or molested?
No, when he went to the asylum, he made all the doctors believe that he'd gotten better, that he'd been
he
reformed.
had been reformed.
Yes, see, that was had been reformed. Thank you, Amanda. You knew what I was trying to say here, and they let him out. But
Fit
the
to
one
be
thing they
released
said
into
was, do not let
society.
him. Say what?
Fit to be released into society.
But the one thing was, it said in his thing, like, not to go back to his mom, because they knew that's where all this anger
Stem
was
from.
coming from. And they sent him back to his mom anyways. Love you too. So that was crazy. And like I said, what was the easiest way to try and do something to somebody back then? Pick me up a hitchhiker. And that's what he was doing.
That's big.
Hey man, I'm trying to get to Berkeley.
Where you going, man? Don't hitchhike, kids. It's not worth it these days. It's even worse now.
You kid me today, they just freaking whip out their cell phone and call an Uber.
Isn't that basically a paid taxi? I'm just saying.
I'm just
Call a
saying,
Lyft driver.
these kids today got their parents' freaking bank accounts wired straight to their freaking cell phone, Apple Pay. Call an Uber, get home, no worries.
We were out hitchhiking, man.
Shit,
No sense of adventure for you kids
we-
these days.
we were drunk, lost in the woods on the side of the road somewhere.
Yeah. He used his mom's university badge. Yep.
You weren't
And
going to call.
He had the sticker to allow him on campus as well. So that was pretty awesome. I don't want to say awesome, but it was smart. Who was the other one? Did you have another one, Tim?
That was all I had. You had mentioned one before. The
Gary-
Green River Killer.
The Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway. This dude, I was reading on him, man, and he murdered over like 40 women, right? And he would put their bodies by the Green River. And I think what was bad is with this dude was, like you said, a lot of killers would go back to where the bodies are. But he was a necrophiliac. So he would actually have sex with these ladies. that are already
Kemper
dead.
was too.
They say Bundy was as well.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, the Green River Killer, the thing that struck me the weirdest about him was that he would use his son as a ruse to get these women to get in the car with him.
Yes. I mean, that's crazy, dude. Like, you're gonna use your son, and he did it when it.
He used
I
his
don't
own
know.
kid to lure women in to kill.
Sorry, I was just checking. A message popped up.
He was married and everything.
Dang.
Numerous times he was married.
You know where he was native from? Like, where was he from?
I do not. What are you doing, bro?
I'm pulling some milk so I can eat some Oreos.
Okay. I was thinking something else. I'm like, this dude really gonna go pee? Like, we on air?
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen
Hey, when you
pulling my
gotta
milk.
go.
I guess. The other one that I was gonna talk about was I don't know the IQ of Gary Ridgway or this other gentleman, but Samuel Little, which we were talking backstage before we came on, and this is a gentleman who was convicted in 2014, and he was just convicted of killing 3 women back in the 1980s. But in like 2018, the guy actually confessed to killing over 90 women. Now,
Oh,
as of right now, only like 34 have been confirmed. But we're talking 90 people, 90 women.
he most definitely went in.
And is that my dude, Caden?
Yeah.
By the way, if you all are still online, make sure you say
Jason, let him hear real quick.
say happy birthday to our little homie Caden. He turned 2 this week, so happy birthday
Jason. Hang on a
to
second.
all of us. Say what? Uh-oh, I hear it. I'm looking for my last one.
He's coming. I'll let him pop on here for a minute.
All
Give
right,
me 1 second. I'll be right back.
well, hurry up. I'm looking for my last one. I had him up on my phone, and my phone decided to not play nice with me because I want to talk about this dude. He's a Golden State Killer. Amanda probably knows who I'm talking about. Joseph DeAngelo Jr. This guy was a police officer. What's up, my little man?
Say hi.
Hi, Bobby. Happy birthday. Happy late birthday.
See, look at that. He likes beating up Pappy.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. There you go. Go play.
Yeah. Joseph DeAngelo Jr.
Everybody's telling you happy birthday.
Golden State Killer. He was a police officer.
What was his body count?
He had 13 counts of first-degree murder, as well as 13 counts of kidnapping. So here it is, a police officer who's supposed to protect and serve.
You're talking to this sweetie pie.
And he would break into these houses, being a police officer, and he would rape and kill women.
Yeah.
It took years for them to find this guy. And how do you get caught? Fucking DNA.
There's another good documentary. I can't remember the guy's name now though. But it's about this woman gave her child up for adoption, and these people adopted her. And in 1989 she went missing. And they finally, it was like 2021 when they found out that her adopted father was the one that killed her. And he had killed several other people. And he was up like 6 or 7, but they lived just outside of Holland, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that, dude. But
can't remember the name. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good though. I just watched it last Saturday.
sorry, I was just reading a little bit on D'Angelo because I didn't get a chance to. Especially with
And
the
you know,
amazing weather that we had.
for all we know, that guy that killed them 2 girls over here in Indiana, the one that just got convicted, he might be a serial killer. I don't think that was his first time doing that.
Well, I think that he's going to have a new trial for that too, if I remember correctly.
The Delphi murders.
The Delphi murders.
Got the Aaron Stood trial. He got 150 years.
He already went to trial. He got 150 years.
Woo.
Yep.
That's an awful.
What's his name?
Richard
Joseph
Allen.
D'Angelo,
Richard Allen.
D'Angelo got multiple life convictions, lifetime convictions without the possibility of parole. I'm sorry, if you get one life without a possibility of parole, like, why are you going to add more? What, you plan on them being in there after death too?
It's for the satisfaction of the victims' families, so that they could show individually that they were punished for each act that he committed.
And I get that. I do. I was just
Because if you was the father of that girl, you would want to know that he got a life sentence directly for your child, for your kid. You want that justice.
In fact, I just want to do a whole little thing here, a little public service announcement. Because I heard about this after the Dahmer series aired on Netflix. There were like people dressing their little children up as Jeffrey Dahmer to go trick-or-treating and stuff. Don't do that. You never know when that doorbell you ring is going to be a family member of somebody that Jeffrey Dahmer killed and disrespected that family. And not only that, but just so you know, we don't idolize these people. And on a personal note, my sincere, heartfelt apologies for anybody out there whose family has been affected by one of these people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely.
This is more of
This is just simply a conversation. We just talking about it. I mean,
yeah. This
But that's just something I wanted to throw in because
no, and I appreciate that. I don't want people thinking, God, these guys are. I think we're more amazed at how some of them have such a high IQ and still went down that path instead of doing something better. You know, I'll throw this one in real fast.
And I don't think we can do this episode at all without not mentioning the most notorious serial killers of all. You got your J.J. Holmes, and of course, Mr. Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
so listen, if they sentence you to natural life, I see the comment that Ashley Skins put down there. If they sentence you to natural life, that means until you dead. So if you die and come back, you're not dead. You're gonna stay in prison. You're gonna stay in prison until you dead.
And I do, if I remember correctly, I think that happened to John Wayne Gacy. I believe he went to the electric chair. They threw the switch. Zzz.
He didn't die.
He did not die. So guess what? Zzz.
They slapped that bitch again.
they did it again. So
Jeff Hires, we just became brothers, Jeff.
Jeff Hires is my cousin.
Okay, well, we just became friends.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about that soon, cousin. I promise you. But no, Ashley, if you get a death sentence, you're there till you're dead.
Yep.
So,
And if your people don't come to get your body, if your people don't come to get your body, you will be buried on prison grounds.
you are very welcome.
He doesn't have sword.
Hey, I know we got like 3 minutes, but I gotta tell you guys, it's time for the Jackass of the Week. Okay. Now we're gonna have one. I told you I wouldn't pick yours. We're gonna do yours though. My Jackass of the Week. I gotta take us off real fast.
Yep.
I hate this. I'm gonna take you to a home.
But
I can't do it. Anyways, my Jackass of the Week is the Grammys.
Yeah.
Jackass of the Week is the Grammys.
How did they give Beyonce best country album of the year? I don't even know a Beyonce song from country. I never even heard one on the radio.
How you get Beyonce country album of the year? You got like Luke Combs. You got
You could have put Oliver Anthony in there for Rich Man North of Richmond.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
that probably should have been number one of the year.
Dude, Grammys, do better. You got to do better.
They can't because it's not voted on by the people. That's why if you want country, you got to go to the CMT Awards. The people vote on it. All this is these liberal bigwigs that run everything
It's
that get the vote.
Hollywood and they picked that crap off of whatever they want.
Crazy, man. I mean, the next thing
I listen to country stations. I have never even heard a Beyonce song on the radio. What the?
Why
What?
you say Beyonce?
I
Anyway,
don't understand that.
I don't either, man.
It is
Yeah, that was a good.
Beyonce. It's
That was
just
a good
Beyonce.
Jackass of the week.
Thanks, man. So, final thoughts for tonight. Who wants to go first?
I kind of already said mine.
Fine.
Don't dress your kids up like serial killers for Halloween. It's not cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't idolize them.
And listen,
Don't
if you ever get in a chase, if you ever in a chase in a house with a serial killer, don't run upstairs. Don't run to the room with the sharp objects. Don't try to hide in the closet. Back door or front door.
I'm getting naked. It's impossible for a grown man to hit another grown man when he's naked.
No, it ain't.
Especially if you got the baby oil. If you got the baby oil, they might run away from you.
I'm getting whipping some baby.
There ain't no party like a day party.
Be like, I'm not locked in here with you. You locked in here with me.
That's right. Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Have you seen that guy that said he picked that guy he's on TikTok and Facebook? He kind of looks like a homeless guy like me, but he's like, I picked up a hitchhiker today. He said, well, how do you know I'm not a serial killer? I said, well, the chances of two serial killers being in the same car would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for being on. I got to thank my brothers for being on with me. I want to thank everybody for stopping in, checking us out. We absolutely appreciate it.
Okay.
You guys are going to have to catch next week, dude. It's going to be a good show. All right? And until then, just remember, if you're not laughing, you're not living. So from the bottom of the Paranormal Jackass's heart, I love you guys. Thank you so much for stopping in and saying hi. And I hope you have a great week. And oh, by the way, if you had a birthday and we missed it, happy birthday, belated birthday. If you had an anniversary, happy belated anniversary. If you got a birthday coming up, happy early birthday. May all your wishes and dreams come true. And don't forget to party like it's 1999. So with that being said, I hope you all, or I bid you all, a farewell. And
Good night, everybody. Have a good
night,
night,
everybody.
Yes, later, y'all.
If I can start the